Thanks to advanced devices created by scientists, we're now able to capture creatures beyond our understanding. Shocking alien encounters and mysteries we cannot ignore. So, if you still believe we're alone in the universe, these events will make you question that for good. We all know what malnutrition looks like: weak bodies, thin limbs, and tired eyes. But imagine seeing something that looked malnourished, but different. That's exactly what happened in Canada, when scientists found a strange, thin creature that didn't seem completely human. Its small body looked fragile, almost like it hadn't eaten in weeks. But its head, way too big for its frame, giving it an eerie, alien-like appearance. Scientists couldn't figure out what it was. Well, they tried studying it, hoping for answers, but the mystery only deepened. One thing was certain: this wasn't just another case of malnutrition. It was something far stranger. Moon mystery unveiled. The moon, we all know and love, is always a great place to get a little extra curious. So when a group of astronauts were casually exploring, they noticed something interesting. In the distance, a tall figure was spotted, sometimes standing, sometimes sitting. Not your typical moon rock or shadow folks. No, this thing was moving and seemed alive. The astronauts, of course, were totally shocked. Seriously, who wouldn't be? The figure was huge, had a weird shape, and had an alien-like face. The way it moved was definitely not human. It shifted around like it was watching the astronauts, but hey, just another casual day on the moon, right? UFO and the alien. One evening, a huge UFO was spotted on a hill, and there was something even stranger nearby, a figure moving around it. The figure looked like an alien, tall, thin, and oddly shaped. It walked slowly, almost like it was checking things out. After a while, it turned and walked toward the UFO. The moment it stepped inside, the UFO lit up and shot into the sky, disappearing at an insane speed. There was no sound, no trail. Just a strange silence left behind. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Secret base incident. In 2017, a man had a strange encounter with what appeared to be an extraterrestrial being at a secret base somewhere in the United States. The exact location remains undisclosed, but the story itself is intriguing. It happened at night. The man was walking through the facility when he noticed something unusual, a figure standing completely still in the dim light. As he got closer, he realized it didn't look human. Its body was oddly shaped, its skin smooth and almost unnatural. The creature just stood there, motionless, as if it was observing him. The Varginha UFO incident. In 1996, something bizarre happened in Varginha, Brazil. It was a rainy night in a wooded area when a flashlight beam landed on something unusual, a creature that didn't look human. It had strange features, almost like it had come from another world. According to reports, local witnesses were shocked by what they saw. The being had dark, oily skin, a large head, and glowing red eyes. It didn't seem aggressive, just confused and weak. Not long after, the Brazilian army arrived at the scene. Some say they captured the creature and took it away, but no official explanation was ever given. Alien in the hospital. Russia is known for its many mysteries, and here's one that left people speechless. A nurse was caught on camera pushing a wheelchair through a hospital, but the person in the chair wasn't human. It was an alien. The creature had a large, swollen head and big black eyes that looked almost unreal. It seemed weak. And here's the strangest part. The nurse wasn't shocked at all. She calmly wheeled the alien down the hallway like it was just another patient. No panic, no hesitation. The footage has people questioning what was really happening in that Russian hospital. Aliens on the roof. You've heard of haunted houses, but have you ever heard of an abandoned rooftop with aliens? One evening, in a creepy old house, 2 strange figures were spotted standing on the roof. They looked like statues at first, completely still, but then they moved slightly, almost like they were watching the area. People who saw them from a distance were sure that they were aliens, as they had big heads, dark eyes, and slim bodies that seemed to glow a little in the moonlight. Seems like they had been living up there, hiding in the abandoned house. Creepy doorbell footage. One night, a homeowner was checking his backyard ring footage when he noticed something strange. A tall, thin figure appeared on the screen, sitting in an eerie, unnatural way. It had long limbs and a body that just didn't look human. Surprisingly, it made no sound, no footsteps, no breathing, nothing. The figure strolled past the house like it didn't have a care in the world. Was it an alien? A ghost? No one knows. But one thing's for sure. After seeing that footage, the homeowner made sure to double-check the locks before going to bed. Creepy poolside visitor. You've probably heard of skinwalkers, those eerie, shape-shifting creatures people claim to see at night. Well, this story might just make you believe. One evening, a man was outside his home when he noticed something strange near his pool. It wasn't an animal, and it definitely wasn't a person. The creature had an unnatural shape, almost like something from another world. Even worse, it was trying to climb the wall, as if it wanted to get inside. For a few long minutes, it just hung there, staring. Then it quickly climbed down and ran. The man had no idea where this alien being came from, but one thing was certain: he wasn't stepping outside alone again. Don't go exploring. People always say it's a bad idea to wander into abandoned places at night, but someone always does it. One guy decided to check out an old house near the forest, armed with only a flashlight. When he went inside, it was completely quiet. He pointed his light at a window and then saw something strange. Long fingers slowly wrapped around the window frame, and a figure appeared, staring at him with eyes that definitely weren't human. They both just stared for a moment, and then the figure moved closer. The guy didn't need any more reasons to leave. He quickly turned and ran, not looking back. Creepy visitor on camera. Ring cameras have caught all sorts of weird things. Strangers lurking, animals doing odd things, even ghosts, some say. But this was something else. A homeowner checking their footage late at night saw something truly bizarre. A strange creature stood right in front of the camera, staring straight into it. It wasn't human. Its eyes were huge, way too big for its small, thin body. The way it moved was strange, like it was confused by the camera. It tilted its head, looked around, then leaned in closer, almost as if studying the device. It just stood there for a few moments, watching. Then, out of nowhere, it vanished from view, and just like that, it was gone. Creepy alien sighting. Moving on, we have this footage from an Ohio rural area where a strange figure was caught on camera peeking from behind a tree. It had a massive head, pale skin, and those eerie black eyes that looked way too empty. Its head was shaped like an upside-down triangle, just like the classic gray aliens. Some people swear it's real, others think it's way too cliché. Could it be a prank, a mask, or maybe, just maybe, something not from here? Either way, it's enough to make you sleep with the lights on. Strange figure in the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest is full of mysteries, and here comes another. Deep in the jungle, a tall, gray figure was caught on camera back in 2022. It moved slowly, with its long arms swinging as it walked. Its large, dark eyes reflected the dim light, making it look even more eerie. In the distance, the faint sound of a helicopter hovered nearby, as if something was being tracked. The creature, however, seemed unfazed. It simply kept walking. Another strange sighting added to the long list of unexplained events in the Amazon. Just another night in one of the world's most mysterious places. Strange forest visitors. A group of people was hiking through a thick forest when they spotted something weird. They saw strange figures moving between the trees. These weren't regular people. They had huge black eyes, big heads, and skinny bodies. The group couldn't believe what they were seeing. The figures moved in a line, like they were headed somewhere with a plan. They seemed to be talking to each other, but their voices were too soft to understand. It didn't sound like any language the group knew. Could this have been a real alien encounter? They couldn't be sure, but they weren't sticking around to find out. Creepy figure in Chicago. Lately, strange videos have been popping up all over social media. One night in Chicago, a ghostly white figure was caught on camera. It moved in a bizarre, unsettling way. Too smooth, too unnatural. People thought it was a ghost, while others whispered about skinwalkers, creatures from old legends. The video quickly went viral, with thousands of people debating what it really was. Whatever it may have been, one thing is certain. If you're walking alone at night, you might want to think twice before looking over your shoulder.
You see his face clearly, right there.
Alien abduction. It was just another peaceful evening by the backyard pool for this couple, until everything changed. The lights flickered, then cut out completely. Out of nowhere, a strange, glowing object streaked across the sky, almost like a UFO. And just like that, the man's wife disappeared. 1 second, she was sitting right beside him. The next, gone without a trace. He searched everywhere around the pool, inside the house, calling her name, but there was nothing. Desperate for answers, he checked the security footage, but all it showed was the eerie light in the sky, and then nothing. She was just gone. Unsettling visitor. It's always important to keep doors locked at night, but one homeowner in particular found out just how important it really is. One night, he started hearing strange noises outside, so he decided to set up a camera to figure out what was going on. What he caught on camera was way beyond what they expected. The footage showed a strange figure standing by the door, just staring at the house. It had a tall, thin body and huge eyes that almost seemed to glow. It didn't knock or try to enter, it just watched. After a few moments, it disappeared into the darkness. Strange sighting on Mars. Mars has always been a mystery. Scientists have spent years searching for signs of life, but nothing ever seemed clear. Until now. NASA scientists were shocked when an ROV camera captured something unusual in the distance. Initially, they thought it was just another rock, but when they zoomed in, it looked different. It was sitting upright, almost like a living being. Its shape didn't match anything they had seen before. Could this be proof of life on Mars? The strange object seemed to be watching something. Mysterious road figure. Driving alone at night always feels a little eerie. Dark roads, silence, and the feeling that anything could happen. In Hazaribagh district, a strange figure was spotted walking down the road near Chadam Bridge, and it quickly went viral. A group of bikers filmed what looked like a human-like being casually strolling along the road. But things got weird. People couldn't agree on what it actually was. Some thought it was an alien, others said it could be a ghost, and a few even suspected it was a skinwalker. The figure seemed almost human, but there was something off about it. Whatever it was, it sure made those driving at night think twice about the unknown lurking in the dark. The 3 a.m. intruder. Strange things always seem to happen in the middle of the night, when the world is quiet and everyone is asleep. That's when the unexpected creeps in. At exactly 3:10 a.m., a strange visitor was caught inside a house in Arizona. One of the residents, still half asleep, heard noises from the living room near the kitchen. At first, he thought it was just a stray cat searching for food, but something felt off. The movements were too slow, too unnatural. Curious, he grabbed his phone and recorded what he saw. The footage showed a creepy figure creeping through the house. Some say it was an alien, while others believe it was something paranormal. Whatever it was, it didn't belong there. Unseen visitor. Late one night, a security camera in an empty room caught something completely out of the ordinary. The footage showed a figure at the window, but instead of opening it, the figure seemed to pass right through the glass, like it wasn't even there. The creature was tall, thin, and had an eerie glow. It moved quietly, stepping deeper into the room. The footage showed it standing still for a moment, just observing. No one had been around, and there was no explanation for what was caught on camera. Alien portal. In China, a woman was standing calmly by the road when, out of nowhere, a glowing portal appeared in front of her. Before she could react, the portal pulled her in, and within seconds, she was gone. Witnesses were stunned. No noise, no warning, just a sudden flash, and she vanished. Netizens say she was from another world, and the portal came to take her back. Others believe she was just unlucky, caught in something no one could explain. Either way, she was never seen again. Alien chasing a car. When driving in Germany, a man glanced in his side mirror and saw something strange. There was a small figure running behind his car. Initially, he thought it was just a shadow or maybe an animal, but when he looked again, he realized it wasn't human. The creature was tiny, but moved at an incredible speed, keeping up with the car as if it was determined to catch up. The strange, alien-like figure made the man feel uneasy. It's a good reminder to keep your windows up when driving. You never know what could be chasing you. Walking legs. Have you ever heard of a two-legged monster? Well, late one night on an empty street, something strange happened. A figure was walking down the road, but guys, it had no upper body, just legs. The legs moved naturally, like someone invisible was walking. People who saw it couldn't explain what it was. Some called it a paranormal entity, a strange creature beyond our understanding. Well, whatever it was, it definitely gave me chills. It's one of those mysteries that leaves you wondering just what the world has in store. Salford's mysterious visitor. Salford isn't exactly known for being the most quiet place at night, but what happened there one night was something else. A video recorded late at night showed a dark, quiet street, when suddenly an eerie breathing sound filled the air. Then, a tall, thin figure appeared, slowly walking toward the camera. This figure had gray, snake-like skin and was way too tall and slim to be human. Even the uploader of the footage was convinced it was an actual alien encounter. Creepy cemetery sighting. Cemeteries have always had a spooky feel to them. Over 10 years ago, a man filmed a quiet cemetery, not thinking much of it. Recently, while re-watching the footage, he spotted something strange, a tall humanoid figure standing in the background. As the camera moved, something suddenly rushed past the screen. It was fast, almost too fast. Some believe it could have been a gray alien. After all, aliens and cemeteries don't usually go together, or do they? Either way, that's one video you wouldn't want to watch, alone in the dark. Strange night walkers. Ever wonder what your doorbell camera might catch in the middle of the night? Well, in Dallas, Texas, one Ring camera recorded something downright creepy. The grainy footage showed two figures walking across a driveway. And let me tell you guys, these weren't your typical people or animals. Their bodies looked odd, with weird proportions, and they moved in a way that didn't seem natural. They glided smoothly, almost as if they weren't walking at all. These strange beings passed by the camera like they knew exactly where they were going, unaware they were being watched. Unusual bridge encounter. Back in 2021 in Chicago, two mysterious creatures were spotted by the water. One was lying still on its side, while the other sat nearby, almost like it was keeping watch. Then, things took an odd turn. The second creature suddenly jumped into the water and disappeared beneath the surface. It moved smoothly, as if completely at home in the water, unlike anything we've seen before. What was even more strange was how calm they were. No panic, no frantic movements. They acted like they belonged there, not like wild animals at all. The bird that blinked. Birds are pretty normal, right? They fly around, chirp, and go about their day. But what if one of them had a flashing light? People spotted a bird in the sky, and at first, it looked like any ordinary crow. But as it moved, something strange happened. A small light kept blinking from its body. Nobody knew what was going on. They guessed it was a tracking tag, while others thought it might be a camera, or even a Chinese robot bird. Whatever it was, the bird kept flying as if nothing was wrong. Alien on the beach. Beaches are great for a relaxing day, collecting seashells, or maybe spotting some unique marine life. But sometimes, the ocean decides to throw something truly unexpected onto the shore. A group of people walking along the beach came across a strange creature on the sand. At first, it looked human, but something was off. Its skin was unusual, its shape was all wrong, and it didn't resemble any known sea creature. Instead, it looked almost alien. Authorities arrived fast, sealing off the area and studying the bizarre figure. But then, someone leaked the footage, and the internet exploded with theories. Some called it an alien, others a deep-sea mutant, and some chalked it up to nature being weird again. But let's be real, that thing was an alien. Shadow on the street. Streets at night have that classic horror movie vibe. Dim lights, eerie silence, and just the right amount of creepiness. Perfect for a peaceful walk. Or, you know, running into something you definitely weren't supposed to see. On a quiet street in India, a shadow slipped out from behind a parked car. It looked like an ordinary person, but as it stepped into the light, nope. Definitely not. Its body shape was just wrong. Almost human, but off in a way that made your brain do a double take. It moved slowly, scanning its surroundings like it was looking for something. Maybe it was a lost tourist. Or maybe, just maybe, it was time to start running. Secret UFO retrieval. Ever heard of a UFO that looks like an egg? Sounds strange, but that's exactly what was reportedly recovered in a top-secret operation. A classified team retrieved a smooth, metallic, egg-shaped craft with no seams, doors, or windows. Despite being in a crash, it showed no signs of damage, almost like it wasn't made from anything humans understand. Investigators later confirmed that multiple sources backed the story. The craft was quickly taken to a hidden location, locked away for further study. What was inside? No one saying a word. Orb in the night. Glowing orbs are always intriguing, and this one was no different. A home security camera recently caught a small, glowing orb floating in the air. It hovered for a moment before gliding smoothly through a fence. It didn't slow down or bounce off, just passed straight through, like it was made of pure energy. The light from the orb was soft but steady, casting a gentle glow against the dark night. It wasn't blinding, but it was clearly visible. What's even more mysterious is how quiet it was. No sounds, no sudden movements. UFO in Egypt. In some remote part of Egypt, a massive UFO was spotted, just floating silently in the air. It had this sleek, long shape that no one had ever seen before. Surprisingly, there was a glowing orb attached to it, making it look like it was either part of the craft or something else entirely. The witnesses stood in shock as they watched the UFO hover for a while before it suddenly sped off at a crazy speed. In a matter of seconds, it shot straight up into the sky and disappeared without a trace. No aircraft on Earth could move like that, way beyond anything we've got. UFO in the clouds. There's nothing like looking out the window of a plane, watching the clouds go by until something odd catches your eye. One passenger was filming the sky, enjoying the peaceful view, when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a saucer-shaped object zoomed past the plane at an insane speed. It was so fast, the guy barely had time to react. Thankfully, he got a shot of it on camera before it disappeared into the clouds. He couldn't believe what he saw and kept replaying the footage, trying to figure it out. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't another plane. Whatever it was, it moved in a way nothing on Earth should. Portal over Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is known for its stunning landscapes, rolling mountains, beautiful lakes, and vast open spaces that make it a hidden gem for nature lovers. But recently, something mysterious caught the attention of locals and tourists in Cholpon Ata. A glowing, circular portal appeared in the sky over Lake Issyk-Kul, hovering in place with no clear explanation. The creepy sight seemed like a doorway to another world, adding a touch of the unknown to the already breathtaking scenery. For a while, it just lingered there, before fading away as quickly as it appeared. People thought it was an optical illusion, while others wondered if it was something far more extraordinary. UFO over Egypt. Ever thought you'd spot a UFO in the middle of the Egyptian desert? Well, a few witnesses did just that. Out of nowhere, a saucer-shaped UFO appeared, floating silently in the sky. It was far away from any city, just hovering in an empty, vast area. The UFO's shape was clear against the desert backdrop, and it moved without making a sound. Then, as quickly as it showed up, it vanished. Those who saw it were left in shock, trying to figure out what they'd just witnessed. Was it an advanced aircraft, or something far more mysterious? Let me know in the comments. Florida's unsettling visitor. Florida, where the weird never stops. This time, a strange figure popped up, and of course, it wasn't just some lost tourist. Late one night, people saw something that didn't exactly scream human. It had an odd face, almost like it belonged to another planet, and its body was completely white, but not in a ghostly way, more like a what even is that way. It moved all wrong, not like someone strolling down the street, but in a way that made everyone wonder if it had skipped a few lessons on walking. Some folks were ready to call it an alien, others just shrugged. Before anyone could get a closer look, it vanished. How creepy, right? The Silver Orb Mystery. The military has some of the most advanced technology in the world, built to track anything that moves. But sometimes, even they come across things they can't explain. A US military drone flying over the Middle East once captured something unusual, a smooth, silver orb floating in the sky. It moved effortlessly, gliding through the air before suddenly disappearing. The footage was later shown during a Pentagon hearing on UFOs. Officials admitted they had no clue what it was. Despite all their advanced tracking systems, the object remained unidentified. Some think it's high-tech surveillance equipment, while others believe it's something beyond human understanding. The Many-Eyed Creature. Horror movies have shown us some strange creatures over the years, but reality can be even weirder. A bizarre creature was spotted in the wild. It had multiple eyes. Whenever one shut, another would open. Its rough skin made it look even more terrifying. Witnesses couldn't decide if it was an undiscovered species, a genetic mutation, or something that simply shouldn't exist. The way it moved, the way it started. Whatever it was, one thing was certain. It didn't belong in any normal wildlife book. Horror movies might be scary, but seeing something like this in real life? That's a whole different level of terrifying. Alien in the Hills. Ireland's hills have always had a mysterious charm. Rolling green landscapes, misty mornings, and now, aliens. A strange tall figure was spotted walking across the hills. It was thin, moved oddly, and definitely didn't look human. Some think the creature had been hiding in the hills all along, staying out of sight. Others believe it just arrived, maybe for a little sightseeing. Whatever it was, it left behind more confusion than answers. The Irish countryside is usually known for its peace and quiet, but this just makes it a whole lot more interesting. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Paleontologists dig up bones all the time, but every so often, they stumble upon something that makes everyone scratch their heads. One researcher, just doing his job, uncovered a massive skull, way too big to belong to a human. And because a giant mystery skull wasn't weird enough, it was covered in strange markings. Right in the middle of the forehead, a carved eye. Because, of course, why wouldn't it have one? The skull also had eerie stone-like patterns, as if someone wanted to make sure it looked extra unsettling. Scientists are still trying to figure out what it is, but let's be honest. This thing doesn't match anything in their little textbooks. Another day, another creepy discovery.